Manchester United versus Tottenham this Sunday at Old Trafford. This, my friends, is a six-pointer. No ifs, no buts. A must-win at all costs for United if we have any aspirations to finish in the top four and to play in the Champions League next season. We need to win on Sunday. I mean, just carrying on from the defeat to Arsenal is still a very, very sore wound for most fans, myself included, and Judas Danny's winning goal and celebration. I know it's kind of harsh for me to call him Judas, but he did celebrate, and I'll never forget that, especially as he always talked about his love and affection for United, blah, blah, blah. If it was so true, then why did he act like a nonce? Other Reds have come and performed at Old Trafford and even scored, and most of them have shown respect and dignity, such as Ronaldo, but he didn't, At least show some respect, Danny, to the fans that hold you in high regard. Well, at least some fans now. But we as United fans showed our class and dignity and clapped you off when you were subbed. That's what we're all about. We have high standards, higher than most in the world. And before you hear us going about it, yes, I do not condone Di Maria or Januzaj's Olympic-style diving antics. I really hope Man United deal with them, give them high fines, and even ban them, because we like I said, we have high expectations. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling about the past. Let's look ahead to the game against Spurs. Tottenham come into this game with a very good league record, especially in the last 8 games or so. Since losing back in January to Palace, they've only lost once to Liverpool. So in 8 games, that's not a bad run. I believe they've won 5, drawn 1, and lost 2. So it's not a bad record by all means. And this is on top of playing Thursday nights in the Europa League. So to me, Maurizio Pochettino seems to have a settled side. He's got them playing attractive football with his signature high press that we've all learned to love at Southampton. Spurs are a very dangerous side with the likes of Eriksen and Townsend. They always love to cut in and have a pop, create. And then there's Harry Kane. What can you say about this player? He's been unbelievable in the last month and a half. He kind of reminds me of a Teddy Sheringham type of player, but with legs. He's deceptively fast. He holds the ball up really well, and by heck can he head the ball. So I've been really impressed with him. But what's really made me kind of take an admiring look to Spurs side has been 2 players that really go unnoticed. These players are playing the centre of the park. It's Nabil Bentaleb and Ryan Mason. They've been really impressive. They love to get stuck in. They love a tackle or two. And they can distribute the ball really well, keep possession, and they offer a decent shield to the back 4. Now, I know all the plaudits and accolades have gone to Harry Kane, and rightly so, because he's been playing unbelievable, scoring goals, doing the business. But the centre midfield pairing, of Bentaleb and Mason have been fundamental to Spurs' recent success. Now that Spurs are out of the Europa League, they have their eyes firmly fixed on top 4. The league is their main priority and focus, and you can bet your bottom dollar that they want to be part of the Champions League race and they want to finish in the top 4. Spurs are a fantastic team. Don't get me wrong. They're very good going forward. Defensively, they're a bit like Man United. There's questions to be asked, but you can bet your bottom dollar, like I said, they want the Champions League badly. So they'll come to Old Trafford thinking that they can take all 3 points, especially seeing as Arsenal have just beaten us. Teams like Swansea have beaten us and taken points. So they're going to be hoping to be part of that list, especially seeing as the once upon a time era of invincibility that was at Old Trafford has gone. Teams were beaten before they got off the bus. But sadly, that has all been lost. All the hard work Fergie did, Moyes and his Dreadful era has crashed and burned everything that Fergie did in that aspect, to build that fortress at Old Trafford. So teams come here now fearless, hoping to break long-standing records, which many have done. Spurs won't take the 3 points. They'll be hoping to take advantage of the lack of cohesiveness and understanding of Louis' so-called philosophy, and hoping that they catch Man United on a bad day. The question is, can Man United win? Absolutely. Now, here are some potential weaknesses. Now, there's, like I said, defensively, there's a lot of questions Man United can ask of Tottenham. Especially the centre back pairing. It's not always been consistent. Sometimes Fazio's been playing. Sometimes the English kid Dare's been playing. So kind of rotation wise. I'm not 100% sure who's going to start, but I'd probably guess Dare just because he's younger and a bit faster than Fazio. But one massive area which may or may not be a weakness is the fact that Spurs have played 4 games in the last 18 days. And that might not seem too bad, but that's involved in a grueling trip to Florence where they lost 2-0 in the Europa Cup. And then that was followed by a high octane, exhilarating Carling Cup final, which you can imagine they were all buzzing before the game, so the energy levels would have been drained out, especially Wembley is a big pitch. And then the last 3 games, especially, have piqued my interest the most as Pochettino has kept the same team for all 3 games, bar one player, rotating Danny Rose for Ben Davies in the QPR game. So potentially players might have an issue with tiredness. I know they're professionals and they shouldn't be tired, but that could be a potential area. And also another weakness is Spurs are not very good on the road. They do tend to come unstuck, which is a good sign for us as we're playing at home. This is my team, or predicted lineup, should I say, for the game against Spurs on Sunday. David Nets, left back Luke Shaw, centre back pairing Rojo and Smalling, and I would bring back Raphael. Not only did he score a sublime goal for the under 21s, I think he'd been chomping at the bit to get back in the team, and coupled with the fact that Antonio Valencia made a couple of horrendous mistakes against Arsenal, I think he deserves his spot at right back. I'd play Herrera and Blind as my centre midfield pairing. I know Carrick is back, but I don't think he did enough to justify walking back into the team. I would play my man Mata in the number 10. We have been crying for creativity in the last couple of games. This guy, if you look at his assist to games ratio, is unbelievable. He's probably one of the best in Europe. So Louis van Gaal, please play him. Play Ashley Young on the left. I was thinking about Januzaj, but after his whole diving incident, there's no way I'm going to start Januzaj. So Young's on the left. I'm going to play Rooney on the right. Now, my thinking behind this is the fact that I know Spurs are going to either try and man mark him or have Bentaleb or Mason pick him up. So if he can drag the central midfield pairings out of position, it will allow the likes of Herrera and Mata to run into spaces to exploit. And then I'm persisting with Falcao. I know form is temporary, but class is permanent. We just have to persist with this guy. We got to give him the service for him to score. And one thing we have really lacked is the creativity and the service. And when you've got a Ferrari, it's no good driving it on a gravel road. You want to take it to a racetrack. You want to put your foot down and let it do its thing. So I'm going to persist with Falcao. This is my team that I would love Louis van Gaal to select, and that's the formation, the 4-2-3-1 formation. Match predictions. I think it's gonna be a really cagey, nervy game. I don't think Man United are going to be kind of coming out all guns blazing. I'd love that to be the case, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be a very nervy affair. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Manchester United. Goal scorers, Juan Mata and Raphael. Let's go for Rafa. Let's have another beauty, buddy. And for Spurs, I could probably see Harry Kane scoring. That's my team, guys. Agree, disagree with it. I'm sure there's multiple combinations other people can think of, like maybe playing Blaine left back and starting Carrick or so forth. So please do me a favour, get your comments in, let me know what you think of my team. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and keep on believing, because we will get there in the end, guys. It's important that we have faith in our team, and we do, like as Gary Neville said and Roy Keane and a lot of ex fellow Reds have said, we have to stick with Louis van Gaal. I know there's been a few idiots on Twitter and other social media outlets saying that we need to sack Van Gaal. That's not the answer. We've got to stick together and keep on keeping on. Come on, United!